JD here. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe, please hit like, and let's carry on with what I'm doing today. So I'm going to be reinstalling the gear here, the balance of a platform balance. So this is it here. So I made a new pivot on the end. I repivoted this thing. So there is, see if I get the right side here. Yeah, that's the new pivot side. So that's the side with the new pivot. It's a pretty small new pivot, but it was on the top of the platform balance. I need to repivot this. So now I want to put the roller table back on. So I made a little red mark here on the outside, right there, to line up the hairspring stud. And so the roller table jewel is on the opposite side. So if I turn it this way, that's the opposite side. I found a stump here that should fit. So just have to be very careful putting this in that I don't damage the pivot on the end. So you kind of just want to drop it in and not work too hard at it. And there we go. It seems to have saggied its way in, so maybe there's something in this stump, some leftover Rodico. So I already centered everything here with the with this, and so I just have to grab the roller table. So it's a double roller table, double roller table. That's it there. So before I put this roller table in, I want to make sure I've got the right stake to stake this thing down. So let's go get the stake. So I've got the stake here. I want to make sure the stake clears the pivot on the end, so I don't play with that at all. So I go down like that, and I can stake that down, and it's going to clear the pivot. And it does, no problem. And I also want to make sure that it's wide enough such that the roller table goes straight down and there's no issue. And it's wide enough to bang on the very end of the roller table. So let me just grab this roller table very carefully. Sometimes it's actually good just to pick it up with Rodico. You can, it's such a light part, you can screw this up if you don't do it properly. So pick it up with a piece of Rodico like that, and then just put it over the top. And these are friction fit like this. And then you want to make sure that that impulse jewel is completely lined up, right? So you don't have any issues. And I'm looking at my stakes again, so we're good. So this would go down like this, and I just have to nudge the roller table over just a tad so it's lined up properly. And I have it at 90 degrees, which is what I want here. So that's about right there. It's 90 degrees to the arm. Right about there, I think. And so now the roller table needs to be staked on, and it doesn't take much pressure to stake that down completely. So I'm just going to get my hammer, and you do a couple of taps on it to put it on. You don't have to hit it very hard. So just do this. There we go. It's snug in there. And it should go flush. The roller table should be put on flush, so there should be no gap between the base of the roller table here and the actual movement here. So I'm going to take that out here, and that's coming out with the stud and everything, so I just have to be very careful when I pull this back. So that's good there. So that's in now. So now I want to find a hole. I want to push the hairspring on now. And to do that, I've got to find the right hole to put this in. So it's a matter of measuring, fitting measurements. So now I know that this fit here before. I made a little tiny black mark there. So that's likely the right hole. So what I'm going to do now is line that up again, like so, like that, and then tighten the staking set. This is a pretty darn good staking set. It's old, it's vintage like I am, so So again, keep an eye out. Don't mess with the babysitter. Again, I want to put this down in here, and I'm just hoping that rests nicely, and it does. There's no problem there. And now what I want to do is push on the hairspring. So the hairspring in this case is on the opposite side. See, this thing will move around if you don't just do that, right? The hairspring stud is on the opposite side of where the actual I'm going to put this down for a second. The hairspring stud's on the opposite side of where the impulse jewel is. So I'm trying to line this up now so I can have this hairspring stud go in. So I'll just move this way a bit so it's not inconvenient for me to be placing this on here. So I hope you enjoy my videos. Please subscribe and hit like. I really enjoy the comments, by the way. This is a job I'm doing for a gentleman named John. The hard part of this whole job was actually getting that hole drilled. It's pretty darn good right there. So I want a stud, or I want a stake that goes over the collet for the hairspring. So I need a bigger stake. I need a thicker stake. Something like this would probably do. And I'll put this stake down like that, and then just press down a bit. And it's also going to clear everything. So now, if you look at what I have here, that stud is perfectly aligned. I should be able to press the hairspring down just using my finger. And that's what we've done. Lift that up like that. Now the hairspring is in place, and it's pretty much aligned. If that's not aligned, I don't know what is. So that's a pretty good job there, I think. So if I just turn that around very carefully here and show you what that looks like. It looks like this. So that alignment is pretty darn good. And then I'm going to reassemble this inside the platform balance just to finish the job. Alright, this is what the part looks like now. So that's the new pivot on the top, and then there's the old pivot on the bottom, and I just have to place this into the platform balance that I have here, and then put on the balance cock here to make sure everything is aligned properly. So I'm going to put a piece of Rodico down here, flatten that out, and just give it a little bit of basically flatten it out so that this piece here can just go down, and then just look underneath and make sure there's nothing strange going on, and there isn't. So I'll do that like this, and that should be good right there. And I think I'll just put a little dab of oil on both sides here. I actually found some new oilers I didn't even know I had. I'm just going to take some 9010 here, just a little bit of 9010, and drop it on the top here. Not sure if that actually went on, but I think the watchmaker that owns this watch he can play with this after, but that should be good enough there. And I'll just put a little bit of 9010 on there as well, and just in case he forgets. Alright, I think I needed to get a new one of these. Alright, now I am going to put this balance on very carefully. Let me dangle it from the hairspring. No, I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll just grab it like this and place this down right here. like that. So let me move that over a bit. And then I need to put the balance cock on, and then the hairspring needs to line up with it. So it actually goes this way. This is for a platform balance. It's a special type of balance. It's used in carriage clocks and other types of other clocks, but primarily carriage clocks. So in this case here, I just want to make sure that the pivots are indeed in the right place before I tighten anything down. And I can see it's rocking a bit, so I don't want to, obviously, this is kind of sideways, so you don't want to tighten it down in this situation. So you just want to lift it up a bit and make sure it's just rock it forward there. And then place it down again. And then I want to find that hairspring underneath and get that thing in the right place. So if I rotate the clock, or rotate it like this, is that going to help me? It actually isn't, because the stud ends up on the wrong side. So oh my God, I might be able to just push it through. So what I'm going to do here, I don't want to lose this great position, so it looks like it's nice and loose, which is good. And I'm just going to see, I don't want the pivot to drop out either, and this is what just happened. Just hold that down like that, and I'm going to take my tweezers and just push the stud through. Can I do that? Maybe I can, maybe I can't, but I've got a man of many different tools. So I'm going to try this tool. Oh, that is not thin enough, and I'm going to grab a needle then. I just don't want to move the thing right now. So there we go. That should pop out on the other side. And before everything gets loosey-goosey and stuff, I'm going to put the screw in the hole here. And that'll keep things in place, hopefully. So here's the big screw here that needs to go into the hole. And I need to move the regulation bar over first. Right? This is why I don't work on platform clocks, by the way. And for every big screw, you have a big screwdriver. So I'm grabbing the big screwdriver to put this thing in place. And so I'm hoping after I put this all in place that everything works. So that's it there. And I just need to grab that stud and put that in the hole. Grab that stud. It sounds like a disco song I used to know for years ago. It was grab that something. I'm not sure if that stud will find its way into the hole here now, because I got to move it around. I got to just play with it until it finds the hole without hurting anything else. There we go. That's in the hole, and now I've got to push it up from some angle. I have to have here to push this thing up. This is surgery. Come on, get up there. I'm just wondering if that screw is still in the way. I'll just loosen that a bit more. Just a tad. There, now it's completely loose, so this should push up without a problem. Come on, stud. You can do it. There we go. So there's the stud now up. And I think I'll leave it right there. Just make sure that the hairspring's not touching anything and it's flat, and it is. And I'm just going to get a screwdriver here and tighten this now. This was a very difficult job, okay? I'm just saying, it's not your average watchmaker might have a hard time with this, but it's good there. It seems to be in place, and it's nice and loose. As you can see, it seems to not have a problem, so I think my work here is done. I'm wondering if I can put a little pressure on the bottom pinion. Can I make it move a bit? If I put just a tiny bit of pressure, I don't want to put too much pressure on the pinion, but I just would like to see it move. But he's going to reinstall this in the there we go. I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on the pinion, and it's turning. So it's done. And all I need to do is call the gentleman up and say, come pick up your platform balance, mister, because this thing almost killed me. So that's what it looks like up close. That's the platform balance and the stud. It's got a brand new pivot on the top. It's been repivoted. Drilling holes in this material is really difficult, so I'm going to let him play with this after. But here it is. What do you think I should charge for this job? What do you think I should charge? I don't know, $600, $700, $900, $1,000. That's it, $1,000. Anyway, I'm JD. Thanks for watching again. I'll just put this up right now so you can have a look at it.